Hey everybody. All right, so happy Valentine's Day. I've got my pink on today. And so I wanted to show you guys Valentine's look today. And I'll talk to you as I'm starting to get some foundation on here. But what I see all the time happening with Valentine's Day, because pink and red are such big, they're like the Valentine's colors, right? Like pink, red, hey Sade, pink, red, purple, they're like the big Valentine's colors. And so I feel like because of that, everybody wants to put on like pink and purple and red makeup, which is totally fine. I mean, I've got some pinks and purples and stuff in my makeup kit too. However, that's kind of like a more like funky, like fun look. And if that's your vibe for Valentine's Day, then great. But I feel like for Valentine's Day, most of the time you kind of want that like sultry, romantic look, which is different than what you get when you're doing like all the pinks and the reds. And especially if you're planning on wearing like pink and red out for the day or for the night, if you've got too much like pink and red happening like on your eyes, then I don't know, like it gets to be just a little bit much. And so I like to kind of go for just more of like a really pretty, sultry kind of romantic look versus like all the bright pinks and purples. Now when you're talking lips, like you throw all the bright pinks and purples and reds on your lips for Valentine's Day. But when it comes to like eyeshadows and stuff, I like to just keep it romantic, right? Because as much as we use like pinks and purples and reds for Valentine's Day, like Valentine's Day is about spending time with the people that you love. And if you're out with your significant other or something, like you just want to look like pretty or sexy, or you know, so you want to have just like a pretty look and not that like bright pink eyes just because it's Valentine's Day. Anybody agree with me? Or do you guys like the bright pink? I could totally do a bright pink look for you today too. I just would rather not. So what's everybody's plans for Valentine's Day? Are you guys going out, getting dressed up, doing fancy makeup? What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Okay, so right now I'm just getting on my highlight pretty much as usual. I'm gonna take my little bit lighter color over my eyelid because we are gonna be doing some fun colors. And so I wanna make sure that I brighten that a lot. And then actually today, because we're going for a more dramatic look, normally I use, let me show you. So normally I use olive for my contour, so you can see it's like a nice shadow for me. But for today, because we're trying to do a little bit more dramatic of a look, I'm actually going to be using our indigo contour. Spa day, Valentine's party. Oh, fun! Oh, I love it. Okay, so Sadie's coming to spend Valentine's Day with my kids kind of too. Okay, so I'm going to go into my indigo, which like it looks super scary because it's so dark, and it kind of seems like it is, but I promise that once you start putting it on, it's really not. So just kind of start it back here by like the very back of your cheekbone, and I'm just kind of pushing it up and kind of digging it into my cheekbone. So lots of times when I'm doing a lighter color contour, I can kind of just like fluff my contour in here under my cheekbone. But when you're using a darker contour, you really have to be a little bit more controlled with it. So I'm just gonna kind of press, so I'm like just digging that right into that underside of my cheekbone to create that little bit more dramatic look. Oh, fun, I'll have to go back and watch your live. Oh, I'm so excited he gets here on Sunday. That's gonna be so fun. You're gonna have to actually like bring him to Vegas and make him hang out with us at some point. Okay, so you guys saw like how dark that is, but it actually goes on really pretty. And when we go through and just when we're done with the foundation part here, and we actually go through and blend and melt everything together, it's gonna be really, really pretty. But just that more dramatic look. And because it's a little bit darker, I'm not gonna go quite as strong with it around my hairline here. So I'm gonna keep it right on that hairline and then just barely bring it forward. Whereas like with my olive, I usually bring it just a little bit more forward. Because this is darker, we're gonna let it hang back a bit. Sheree, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? Okay, so there's that, and then of course we have to take care of the double chin. Nothing romantic looking about a double chin. I mean, unless that's like your thing, I guess. Okay, catch that back there. So when I'm doing my chin, I like to come underneath that jawline, just right underneath, because you don't want to ever make it look like you have a beard. But I do like to just kind of right here, where you naturally kind of pull, just kind of take and run that contour right down those edges. And it just kind of will help to pop that jawline and your neck just that much more. And then I thought it would be fun, since we are doing kind of just a fun like sultry Valentine's look, and because we're going to be going a little bit more dramatic with the eye colors, and because we went more dramatic with the contour, I thought we would do Petal Blush today. I might even do like a mix of like Petal and Frenchie. So it goes right here on the apples of your cheeks, and then you just kind of work it back. So you want to get like the bulk of the product right there on your cheeks, and then just tap back. So you can see I hardly have any pink still on my brush. I'm kind of just using my brush to blend it back. And then I'm going to tap a little bit in my Frenchie, which is just a little bit more of a corally pink, and kind of layer that on top. And then I always like, as you guys know, to go back through with my like lighter under eye highlight color. And sometimes I usually don't even add any more to my brush, but just kind of come in here and even out this space, because we want to make sure that this triangle space stays really nice triangle. Sometimes when we're putting on that blush, it kind of creeps up like this, and then that triangle shrinks to this little tiny space. But if you can keep that triangle down from about the corner of your eye to your nose, or to the corner of your mouth right here, depending on your face shape, it'll really open up. Hey! It'll really open that up just that much more. All right, and then we're gonna do, let's see, where am I? We're gonna do a little nose contouring today. Because when I'm doing a little bit more dramatic look, I usually like to do a little bit more with my nose contour. So your nose contour should come from about your eyebrow here, right along the ridge of your nose. And if you've got any bumps or anything like that in your nose, you really want to make sure that you're writing on top of those and you're not bumping out around them, because kind of the idea of the nose contour is to smooth those out. At least for me and my nose shape, it kind of is. And I don't always nose contour, but when I'm doing something a little bit more dramatic, then I like to do that, and I think it's fun. Okay, and then I'm gonna just take with my finger, come in here with that lighter highlight color I did under my eyes, and I'm just gonna run it right up in between those contour ridges that we just did. Just to kind of make sure that that's nice and bright right through there. And you always want to make sure your contour doesn't curve in right here. You want to keep this open as it opens up to your eyebrows. So I'll do that. Then And of course we got to blend that out. We don't want to look like we have two lines running down our nose all night. Kind of blend the rest of this. Did you guys see that video I posted last week of that newscaster guy who does his like makeup tutorials every Saturday and his like violent blending? It was like making me laugh so hard. Okay. All right, so now, just kind of touch up my cheeks. I have so much redness in my skin that I always feel like I need to touch up right here, kind of as I go until I can get that right consistency for my foundation. That's what's great too when you've got like a cream foundation, is that you can really, you can build and build and build. With a lot of foundations, it's like the coverage either, like it just is what it is. So you can put it on either super thick and cake it on, or you can try to put it on thin, but once it's on, it's just on. And with a cream, you can sit and you can build on it and build on it and build on it. You can wipe some of it back off. You can blend some of it back out. So it's like there's just a lot of there's just a lot of ways that you can kind of customize it to just what you want. Just kind of get my eyebrows going here, because I always feel like I look so weird when I get my eye makeup going and I don't have my eyebrows on. Just kind of work this shape in here. Our eyebrows are sisters, not twins. But I always try to like at least try to match them up as best as I can, which means I kind of have to build this one down a little bit so it can kind of meet up to where this one was. All right. It's been kind of a fun day today. It's been rainy out here, kind of cold. Nothing more romantic than a nice thundery rainstorm to make you want to like snuggle up. All right. Okay, so do you guys agree with me about the wearing pink and reds on your eyes? If you're just tuning in and you kind of missed when I was talking about that at the beginning. I was talking about how I feel like I just like to go with more of just like a sultry romantic look for Valentine's Day versus putting on a bunch of like reds and purples and pinks. Like save those for your clothes. Save them for your lips. You don't need to do that for your eyes for Valentine's Day. Maybe for like, you know, you're gonna go party with the girls and just have like a fun girls' night out, or you're doing something where you're wanting to kind of like have that really fun color pop. But I like for Valentine's Day to just kind of stick with that like romantic look. So that's what we're going for today. It's been funny to watch Facebook over the last like week or two, and everybody's doing different like Valentine's looks, and I feel like they're all pink and red and purple. Nothing wrong with it if that's your thing. Okay, so now we're gonna get started into our eye look. So, step one, if you're gonna do like a sultry look, is you really wanna add that depth to your eyes. It's gonna give them that real kind of like sleepy, dreamy look to them, right? Because that's what makes a look really sultry, is when you've got that kind of sleepy, dreamy look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little stay spray on my hand. Whoa, maybe too much stay spray. And let's see, where's my brush? I just used it. All right, and I'm gonna take my multitasker brush and I'm just gonna dip it into my stay spray. just so it's a little bit damp. And I'm gonna come right in here to my Salem. So Salem is our black eyeshadow color. And if you just come right under this, so this is called tight lining. And I'm just taking that liner and I'm just lining that lash line. So you're going right underneath your lashes. I'm sorry, I feel like it looks like a weird, like creepy science experiment when I'm doing this in my camera. But see how it adds that kind of depth right there to your eye when you tight line under there. And come back in here and get a little bit more. And I have to stop talking because I'm like scared I might stab myself in the eyeball. Okay, come back in here and get a little bit more Stay Spray. Get a little more Salem on our brush. And then we're gonna tight line right in here along this water line too, or this tear line. And we're gonna take it all the way in. Hey! All right, so that's gonna add a whole lot of kind of that depth, closed eye, like sexy eye look, right? And then we're gonna take that just a step farther now. So far all we've done is tight lining. So we tight lined under on the top. I didn't take it all the way in, we're gonna take that in. Got a little more Stay Spray here on my hand. Come in with a little bit more of the Salem. So we tight lined, so now we're gonna go right in that lash line. So now we're coming on top of the lashes, but we're just keeping it nice and tight. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it will all blend out when we start doing our eyeshadows. So don't stress out about making everything totally perfect. Just as long as you keep it nice and tight and you don't have like weird bumps clear midway up your eye, you should be good. All right, we're gonna bring that kind of right down in towards our inner eye here. Bring it out. We kind of spend a long time doing eyeliner when we're doing like a sultry look because it's such like a vital part of the look here. All right, so we're gonna come in, get a little more Stay Spray, a little more Salem, and we're gonna do the same thing along the bottom. So now we're not up on that tear line anymore, we're right in the lash line. And if you guys can see, I'm holding my eye right here. I'm not pulling it. You don't ever want to pull your eye when you're doing your makeup because then when you let your eye go, your skin's gonna shift back and your makeup's gonna look not how you thought it looked when you were putting it on. So hold your skin in place because you don't want your brush or your pencil or anything to pull. All right, and now I'm just gonna kind of extend from this bottom and I'm gonna aim like right for the corner of my eye, and we're not gonna do like a major cat eye or anything, but just kind of stretch that bottom liner up towards that outer corner of your eyebrow. And all that's doing is just making sure that nothing is tipping down. Once we put our shadows on, everything's gonna kind of blend out anyways. Kind of blend this right down to that line, but we wanna make sure that line is still going up. Carly, this is the multitasker brush. So it's got the really tiny end down here, it's kind of domed. And then this end is like a bigger flat end. So this is the end I use to contour my nose and to do blush, and I use this for concealing too. Like when I've got blemishes and stuff, I use actually both ends when I'm doing concealing with them. So, all right, so now when you really want to go for like a sultry look, once you've kind of got the base of your eyeliner on, then you're gonna go with 3 different colors. And you guys know I'm like a fan of like the triple combination when we're doing colors. And depending on your eye color, you know, or if you have a color that you just really feel like makes your eyes pop, you feel really pretty when you wear it, then go with a color like that. I think for today, let's see here, sorry, my alarm is going off here. Let me find my eyeshadow brush here. In fact, just because you're on here, Carly, I'm going to show you, because you were asking me about this color. Let me just find it here. So for my I'm going to go with kind of like a cooler toned eye today. So this color is called Pup. Maybe I should use a brush that doesn't already have like a bunch of other color on it. If you guys don't have these eyeshadow brushes yet, they're like the most amazing brushes ever. And it's okay if you have like 10 of them, because I really have a lot of them. Especially when you're doing looks and you're using multiple colors rather than having to clean your brush in between each color. It's so nice to just have a clean brush that you can just grab. So we're going to use Pup right here as our base color. So I'm going to take this and take it across my eyelid, and I'm going to take it all the way up. Not all the way to your eyebrow, but right to where your eyebrow starts to curve out. You don't want to go in front of the brow bone. You just want to go right up to the brow bone. So this is the color Pup that I was telling you about. So we're just going to put that on there. Same thing over here. Right up to where that eyebrow bone starts. And then across that whole lid. And then the part that will really help to bring this kind of sultry look together is we're going to take this Pup, still using the fluffy end of our brush, and we're going to look, if you look up, and just kind of halo that color underneath here. Now I'm kind of being generous with it. I mean, you don't want to bring it clear down, but you know, it's coming pretty well down under my eye. And that's okay. You can get generous with that color. Even if you feel like it looks a little bit weird at first, because this is our lightest color we're going to be using, we're going to bring it down a little bit lower underneath. Uh-oh. You might be doing this sans light. Hold on. My light likes to give out on me sometimes. Come on. Okay, let me give it one more try and then we'll just keep going. Thought about it. Shoot. Normally it's not such a big deal, but it's so cloudy outside today. What palette am I using? I am using, okay, we're just gonna go sans ring light for a minute, and I'll try it again in a minute. So I'm not even using a specific palette. I am using, so these are Maskcara's customizable palettes. So you pick whatever colors that you want and you build your own custom palette. So the colors that I'm using today, I just used Pup, which is like this. It's this really pretty neutral color. Now I'm going to go just a little bit darker, and pick up kind of a mid-tone color, and I'm still going to use this fluffy end here. So now I'm going to come in here with London, which you can see is just a really pretty, almost like a gray or light purple. And I'm going to take this one across my lid and just kind of right into that crease a little bit. But I'm not going to take it up as high as I took that last color. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Right into the crease and across that eyelid. I'm so excited, you guys. My Ryan has been out of town for work all week, and he should be back any minute today. He's supposed to fly in about a half an hour ago. All right, so now I'm taking this London. So this is my mid-toned color. So I'm taking that London underneath also, except I'm not being as generous with it. So I'm really trying to keep it kind of right under that lash line. So for my eyeliner, I use Salem. All right, let me test my light again and see if it will like me. It's so funny when it does this. Oh well. Okay. All right, so that pup only came up to the crease, and it came under as well. So then I'm going to come in here. Now I'm going to switch to my smaller end of my brush, and we're going to go with an even darker color. So let's see here. Let's say, just for the sake of falling into faux pas here, we're going to go with Kin. It's not a totally like super duper bright purple or pink, but it does have like purple undertones to it. It's a really dark, pretty color. And we're gonna put it right here in this corner. And then I'm just gonna drag it right along that lash line. So now you can kind of see where I said it didn't so much matter if that eyeliner was perfect, because now you can see as we add that darker color right in there on that lash line, it really is going to blend that out. So right in the corner and right across that lash line. Feels so weird doing this with no light. Okay. And then I like to take it and almost make like a V shaped. So the bottom of your V is that like corner of your eye, just to kind of pull that dark right up into that corner of your eye. Okay, this one is Kin. And it's this one right here. It's kind of it's a shimmery color, and it's like a really, really dark kind of midnighty purple. All right, let me check my light again. Sometimes it's just angry at me for a second, and I just have to give it a minute, and then it comes back. Okay. I'm going to keep trying it, guys, because it's so weird to do this without any light. Okay, I'm going to come back in to that Kin. Now I'm going to keep it really, really, really tight right under this outer portion of my under eye. So so basically you're almost creating like an ombre type of look, right? That darkest color sits really close to your lash line, and then the mid-tone color goes up to your crease. The lighter color goes up to your brow bone. Now I'm just going to kind of come back in here, make sure all those colors are blending nice, make sure everything is looking right. And I didn't do super dark colors. You could totally go through and do this with even darker colors and it's gonna give you a much more sultry look. This is kind of my standard, how I would do like a smoky eye. Let me check this again. Okay. No, London is not London is a matte color. It's not a shimmer. And yeah, I totally mix shimmers and mattes all the time. It's totally fine. Totally, totally fine. Okay, so now let me make it awkward for everyone. Give my eyelashes a quick curl. I usually try to curl my eyelashes before I do my shadow because I don't ever like to bump into my eyeshadow with my curler. So if you're an eyelash curling person, try to remember to curl before you put your eyeshadow on so that you're not stuck curling after. And when you're putting on your mascara, if you kind of work it side to side when you're right in at the base of your lash, it'll really help build you up some volume. You should almost feel your mascara brush hit your lash line. And once you've kind of worked side to side and worked that body in right at your base, then it will help. Then you can go through and lengthen the lashes. But because you've built that base and that bottom, it really helps thicken them, and it helps it so that when you do lengthen them, there's a little bit more substance to them than just a few wispy lashes. So kind of just work it side to side right at that base. I mean, you don't want to press it so far against your lash line that you're gonna get mascara all over your beautifully created eyeshadow. Okay, so now, because we kind of did a little bit darker colors today, I can tell that I had just a little bit of fallout here. So before I do anything else, I like to just kind of make sure I've brushed off any fallout that may have taken place. And then I'm just going to come back in. I'm going to give this one more try. See if we can make it work. It's so close, it like wants to turn on. I want you to see the finished look where you can actually see it in the light. Hey, Renee. Dang it. Why couldn't it be a sunny day that my light went out? Okay, so always after I finish eyeshadow, especially when doing dark colors, kind of come back in here and just kind of brighten some of this back up. It's funny because you put on your makeup and then when you get your eyeshadow on, you're like, oh, I thought, like when your eyeshadow's not done, and you want to make sure not to get too close in here. You don't want to cover up the makeup that we just did. But when you're putting it on initially, you're like, oh, I'm putting on plenty of makeup. And then it's funny how once you put on your eyeshadow and your eyeliner and you go more dramatic with your eyes, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I actually didn't put a whole lot everywhere else, and you kind of feel like you need to brighten everything up a little bit. And that's totally okay and normal. I always feel like I need to like re-add a little bit more blush. I always feel like I need to just kind of make everything just a little bit stronger and brighter when I do that. All right, where's my blender? Just kind of clean everything up a little bit. Make sure everything is blending good. So now we have a Valentine's look that is not, where's where'd you go, brush? Here we are. So now we have a Valentine's look that is not like bright red and pink eyeshadow. Sorry, I can't talk when I'm putting it on my lips. But still looks really, really romantic. Still looks really, really sultry. Like you're really ready to go out and have like a nice romantic date. And here's another fun little thing that you can do too. You can take that indigo contour that I did on my cheeks. Oh, awesome. I'm excited for you, Carly. Let me know if you need any help with that. So I'm just taking that indigo contour and using it to just kind of lightly line my lips just a little bit. And then I like to take just a little bit of that contour and come right here under the lips. And you kind of make like a little triangle. Not to be confused with the soul patch. Oh man. Kind of tap it in there and you want to make sure that you blend it. But it kind of gives you like an instant like lip injections. It's like temporary lip injections. Oh man. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to come in now. Most days I wear our Honey Illuminator, but when I'm going for something a little bit more dramatic, I like to use our Pearl Illuminator. It's a white base, so it really stands out, really, really pretty, and kind of gives just a little bit more pop. So, and that just goes right on your cheekbones, and you kind of want to start it at that outer corner of your eye and work it back. You never really want to bring it clear down under your eye. Okay, you got it, Carly. That sounds great. So kind of from that outer corner down onto that cheekbone and then up to the temple. And then I like to take and throw a little bit right up on the front of that brow bone, because you remember we didn't take the eyeshadow up in front of that brow bone. We left that open. So we're going to throw this illuminator right there. And then I always, especially when I'm doing any kind of like smoky eye or sultry look, throw a little bit of that right on this inner corner, just to kind of open that eye back up again. We want it to look closed and sexy and sultry, but we don't want it to look like we got black eye or we got dark circles. And so kind of adding this little bit of brightness back in here kind of brightens all of that. All right, do you guys have any questions about anything? Let me know if you guys have any questions. I would love to see your Valentine's looks. Oh, and you can take a little bit of this and kind of hit it right on the inside of your lip, down the middle, to kind of give you that little extra pop on your lips too. And that's pretty much it though. Always got to fluff the hair when you get the makeup done, right? But I would love to see your guys' Valentine's look. So when you get done up and you go on your Valentine's dates, whether it's today or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whenever you're going out, snap a picture and post it for me. I would love to see it. Even if you go for the traditional pink, red, purple eyeshadows, I really do think that those are cute. I didn't want to make it seem like I totally am against that. I think they're really cute, so I would love to see them. And thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a happy Valentine's Day.